Welcome back to the Art of Self-Mastery. My name is Master Johnson. I'm here to make things make sense for you. If you're just now seeing my face, this is the infancy of the channel. Feel free to do the things with the buttons if it, feels inclined on your end, but my intention is to solely make things make sense for you, okay? Now, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining the different dynamics, the different understandings between the energetics of money, both feminine and masculine. Now, if we look at the masculinity, by the way, this is a video that was a question from one of the comments on one of my previous videos, so hopefully you're able to see this, whoever that is. This is for you. If you look at the masculinity and the femininality when it comes to how people operate, what ends up happening is you have the masculine nature that looks like this. The protector, the provider, the one that is very analytical, very logistic, if you will. And then you have the feminine, where the feminine looks a little bit more passive, looks a little bit more gentle, looks a little bit more submissive. If anything, the feminine is more of the nurturer, more of the understander, more of the emotional, right? And to the depth and to the degree of however you want to look at it, excuse me, I just had lunch. You can make a case for any of it. What I want you to understand is when it comes to the human aspect of masculine and feminine, that does not correspond to the energetics of feminine and masculine. Now, I know that that's a lot to kind of break apart, and I'm going to do my best in order to get you to understand it here, because that's what I do and make things make sense. But let's go ahead and break into this. The masculine energy looks like this. The feminine energy looks like this. See, what happens is the masculine feels very attentive, like it has to go ahead and make sure things happen. See, I'm a masculine man myself. I got the neck veins and I got the big muscles and I got the fast cars. I'm a martial artist, break bricks, back flips, cool chicks, cool kicks, all of it. But it took me having to build many businesses just to learn how easy business actually can be amongst when you are in your feminine and allowing it to come through you, allowing it to come to you through how you operate from an energetic stance. Now, the previous video I made had to do with money and how money belongs to a feminine. And I'm going to give a little bit more understanding on what I mean by that. For those that have been inside of a toxic relationship with someone that has been extremely insecure, you probably have a pretty good understanding of what it feels like to be met with a lot of obligation, a lot of limitation, a lot of restriction, a lot of insecurity, if you will. And what ends up happening is just in this example, there can be a lot of feminine, there can be a lot of women that will subside to that unfortunate circumstance and situation because they feel as if they are the only one who can change, or they feel like they are the only one who can help, or the only one who understands this man. And they have a hope that over time he will change and that man will become, that individual that she knows he can be. So then what does she do? She allows that masculine to conquer over the feminine and then to place the feminine inside of her role. And then she cannot expand from that role because she has a dominant role called the masculine that's over her, therefore creating a very toxic relationship and situation that she's in because she can no longer expand, express, or be her true, authentic self. So how does this apply to money? Well, I don't know about you guys, but there would be a time where I'd listen to some money gurus back in the day and they'd say, save your money, save your money, save your money. But for some reason, every time I saved for a rainy day, I would have like 7 rainy days. The limitation, the resistance, the restriction that I had on my money at that time was directly translating energetically to my money, meaning I was the source of that insecurity that then caused that energy, in other words, communication to my money to stall, to manifest bad things in regards of, my car exploding or an all of a sudden bill or anything due to my lack of trust in my abundance, but my complete trust in my limitation. So what I want us to really, truly grasp, by the way, this is probably one of the most important videos you'll ever see, period. What I really want you to truly grasp here is when you incorporate from the inside out, using the law of correspondence, made a video on that as well, you can go check that out, your safety and security here, you are no longer operating in your insecurity. You're so whole, it's impossible to... Apologies, dog started drinking water. You're so whole, it's impossible to want. Imagine being in a relationship, and maybe you are now, speaking to my women, and so the men can understand. My woman, Heather, she's 100% in her feminine all of the damn time because femininity needs to be protected. It needs to be preserved. While masculine has to protect the feminine, but also the feminine will give role, give opportunity, give importance to the masculine. Because the only thing I get from my woman here, I don't get her money, no. I don't get her time, no. I need her acknowledgement. Now, need is a heavy word. I don't need her, but I prefer her acknowledgement. What does that mean? When you acknowledge the money you have gratitude over the money that you have, you're operating in your feminine. You're not operating in your masculine. Because masculine says, I don't have enough, I must go get. Feminine says, I have enough, and I am so happy that I have. So when I say money has ears, and those ears belong to a woman, the feminine energy, what I mean is the feminine has dominion over the intuitive, meaning it has dominion over the mental as well as the spiritual plane. Whereas the masculine has dominion over the masculine plane. That's why we're more muscular, if you will. However, whenever I need to be led, or whenever I'm seeking advice, whenever I feel as if I can use some guidance, I go to my woman. Because my woman has that innate, intuitive understanding from a feminine that says, I do not see sides. I have an understanding. Now, if you really want to check this out, if you go back a few hundred years, what if I told you that kings and rulers and empires were not being ran by men? Kingdoms, I should say. No, they were being ran and being governed by the women, because the women have wisdom. The women have intuitiveness. The women have that dominion over the intuitional plane. Now, what ended up happening is, somewhere along the lines, all the dudes are like, these chicks are getting way too damn powerful. We have to go ahead and get them to focus on what they are not, so that they can always focus on trying to be the best that they can be for other people. We have to get them to get them from not thinking about themselves, honing in on themselves, focusing on themselves. We have to get them to hone in on everything outside of themselves, what they do not have. And then we're going to place the power in the masculine to go get it. You see how all this is kind of working, right? And I know I've kind of gone from place to place on this video, so let me hone it in and make it make sense for you. You, my friend, are not a human being. You're a human entity that has and is harnessing both the feminine and the masculine energy. Society does a fantastic job at only getting you to focus on your masculine energy, because they know that if you understand how energetics, frequencies, and vibrations work, that there is no reason to go continue to work for these slave masters called the government to pay their taxes and to obviously give them what it is. I don't want to get too deep on that. But you are so much more powerful than what you know. So if you can understand that you don't need to save for a rainy day to have a whole bunch of rainy days, you need to express yourself with your highest vibration, your highest identity, the greatest I am that you are. Claim the God power back that you have, and then say, what I am is already enough. And what I choose to do, or put my beingness in, and then take my beingness and put my doingness in. And because I am, I choose to express myself with what I do. It is that when you bring your feminine to your masculine, and now you have hemisync. Now you have harmonious understanding on what it's like to bring heaven here on earth. Now, I don't want this video to go too long. Hopefully you were able to get something from this video. Listen, I have a masterclass. It's $14. Happens every Wednesday. You can check that out inside of the description. I have a community if you want to get closer to me and everybody else that I am leading. But I'm here to serve you, and I'm so thankful that you watched this video. I cannot wait to see you on the next one, and again, to help the channel do things with the buttons. Leave any questions that you have in the comments. I'll do my best to get to them. I appreciate all you guys. I'll see you on the next one.